Courtney and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already followed me, I am over on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter where I post a lot more bookish content. Also, my last video that was up was the literary gift guide. So depending on when you're watching this video, filled with lots and lots of fun literary gifts for yourself or loved ones in your life that are really big into reading or just really bookish, but you don't want to go wrong and get them the wrong book, or you have other things in mind for them based off of their book list or whatever, but I think that's a good one for you to check out. So today we are going over the book series I have yet to finish. So I read a lot, I would say, and I think that's evident with having a booktube channel. And at this point in my reading year, I am at 87 books read. Out of all of those, a series that I have actually finished was the Outlander series up to this point, like the Go Tell the Bees I'm Gone Home, or Go Tell the Bees. I can't remember the full title, it's long, but the 9th book in the Outlander series comes out in November of 2021. So as of to date, I am up to speed with the whole series. So I guess that could still be categorized as I haven't finished it yet because the book isn't out yet, but I am, from what is published, I am finished with that series as of right now. I'm trying to think of anything else I've read this year that was a series. I guess Anna K by Jenny Leigh, unless there's a plan to be a third one in that duology, which then would be a trilogy. And then, now I need to look. Also, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm waiting on the 3rd book. I have it on hold for, I think, ebook and audiobook through Libby, so that will be hopefully another one I can finish before the end of the year. Okay, apparently I finished a lot of series this year already. I finished Ready Player 1 and Ready Player 2. The Selection series I finished up to a point where the main characters of the original Selection were done, and now there's like 15 years later or something, there's a new cast, kind of. But I think I'll say I'll finish that series. And then I read Midnight Sun, which is, I don't know if that's also a part of the series for Twilight, because that's Edward's version or perspective of Twilight. So I guess that can be in there too. Anyway, there are many series that are on my shelves, either incomplete or complete, and I just haven't finished them yet. And I kind of want to address those because, as you'll see with a couple of the books that I will show you today, it gets really challenging for me to remember where I left off. And the books, some of them do a good job of giving you a quick backstory or recap. Otherwise, I look at like my own review of the book or other synopses or reviews online that can help jog my memory a little bit, especially when it's so much world building or like fantasy kind of things. Then I'm really lost because I have to get back into that world again, not just remember plots and characters, but like how the world works. So that is always a challenge for me. So I don't know if this is going to be a thing for 2022, is to finish series. I haven't decided what I'm doing for December yet in terms of a reading challenge. Right now, for October, I'm in the middle of Spoopathon. November will be my nonfiction November. And then December is still up in the air. I've been looking around for reading challenges, and if not, I might just do Becca's Bookopoly again. And then maybe, I think one of the things on the board is to finish a series, but that's kind of like really leaving it up to chance to land on that spot on the board. So I don't know. I'll let y'all be the judge of where I'm at with these books, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So the first series is Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. This is a very cherished series. I've watched the 1980s version from PBS many times. It's like one of my favorite nostalgic, feel-good, like homesick kind of movies that I watched with my mom when I was really young and then watch every summer now. And now we're in October, perfect time to be either picking up the series again and or watching the mini series. But yes, as you can probably see from the bindings, I'm only past book 4, so halfway through, which isn't bad. And it's not that they are like, they're not bad books at all, it's just they're a little bit slow, but I think that's good because it's like you're out in the country. It's the northern shore of Canada, which is, oh, I really want to go there someday and visit Avonlea and Charlottetown and all of the places that they mention in here. but I just haven't gotten around to it. And I think I had read a bunch in October, I think last year, and then spring of last year, because that was just like the epitome to me of Anne. And I was trying, and failed, obviously, to do like a October readathon for Anne of Green Gables with my friend Shantae on Instagram. So maybe this will be something for next year, to finish off the series in 2022 with only 4 books left. And if you don't know the plot of it, it's about an orphan girl named Anne Shirley who is accidentally adopted, or thought was going to be a boy, when she arrived at the Cuthberts' home at Green Gables, and they're like, we don't need a girl, we need a boy. They attempted to send her back, but then realized like, she's one of us, she's part of our family, and then it goes from there into how she lives her life on this island, on Prince Edward Island, and gains friendship, falls in love, and goes on many, many adventures. Then we have the Fallen Kingdom series, which I only have 2 out of, there's either 6 or 8 books, I can't remember, but or maybe even 7, somewhere between 6 and 8. But this I'd heard about from Beth at Books Nest. This is a YA fantasy, very similar to Game of Thrones, but not as gory, I would seem, but many feuding families and like lands that are trying to figure out who owns what, and has some magic and mysticism in there too. So I finished the first one, and the second one I just got from Trident Booksellers over in Boston. I had bought a book from them, and this and The Eighth Life from them, because they were having a huge sale because of, I think the hurricane was coming through, and they were offering like a certain amount of a discount on books ordered that will be shipped out later for online orders and everything. So I was like, yeah, like I'll support them, that's awesome. So I got the second book, which means I need to dive back into that. It hasn't been too long since I read the first one, so I think I'll be okay getting back into the story and everything, but I think it'll be pretty easy to pick it back up again. Then we have the Lord of the Rings series. So I have read The Hobbit already, which is, I guess, a prequel or part of the series. If you want to associate them with that, I will, because it has very similar characters, the same world, the same items are put back into the series that were in The Hobbit. So yes, and these covers, I think I mentioned this when I picked these up, in a little free library in Florida. I think it was in Tampa or St. Pete's, somewhere, and I know I'm not should be associating with the same area, but somewhere around there. And yeah, I felt very lucky to have picked these up. But yes, this is very high fantasy and a classic, I would say, as well. I don't know when I'll get around to these. I have seen the movies, which I know, to each their own when it comes to adaptations and everything, but I'm excited that I did it that way, because I started these books a long time ago on audiobook, and I was so confused with all of the different names. And I think having seen it and knowing the characters, how they're pronounced and all of that, I think I feel way more comfortable reading them now. The next series I have is The Hunger Games, and although I have read these 3, like the original trilogy, I have not read the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, which I believe goes over President Snow's background, like him as a young child, and then how he developed into this person who, I think he was had a hand in creating the Hunger Games, if I'm remembering that correctly, based on the synopsis. I don't recall, but I've heard mixed reviews about that one. I do have that on my wish list to add to the collection of the 3 originals here with Katniss, so I'm excited to dive back into that world. I am a fan of dystopian, post-apocalyptic kind of stories. I just think it's fascinating to learn about where the future could go, or what it could look like, depending on our actions as a human race, what is happening with the earth and all of that. So it's just fascinating to me. I'm not sure if this counts as a series or not, but I do have the prequel or second book of some sort in The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and this one's called The Testament. So this I had won from a giveaway on Instagram in honor of, I think, the new edition of The Handmaid's Tale, and I think it was an anniversary edition as well, or so many X years since the first one has been published. So yes, I've only read The Handmaid's Tale once, and I've seen the series on Hulu up until now. I think The Testaments goes over a different handmaid or a different character, maybe that knows Offred or not, or June. Yeah, be interested. Another one of those post-apocalyptic dystopian novels that it's pretty rough, I will say. Just like very eye-opening and awakening. Then we have the Six of Crows duology with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I am currently reading Six of Crows now for Spoopathon for a book with a black cover. That is where I'm at. By the time this comes out, I'm hoping that I'll be done by then. And then I think I should be able to read this, Crooked Kingdom, if it works out. I would like to read this in December because it's a pretty fast-paced story. And it's very similar to Shadow and Bone series because it's the Grishaverse. It's held in the same land and same peoples. So the world building I understand already because I had read Shadow and Bone, which I'm not going to continue that series as of right now. Maybe I'll listen to the audiobooks. I think it's Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising is the other one in Shadow and Bone. And I've also seen the Netflix adaptation. So I feel pretty comfortable with this series. I like these characters way more because they're a bunch of like misfits, or they just don't they don't belong anywhere necessarily. Like that's what brings them together, is they're kind of like outlaws and all of that, and they're just different. So really enjoying it so far. It is just a duology, so I think I will be able to finish this, not necessarily like easily, but a timely matter compared to some of the other series. Then we have the Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab series. So this I had started, you can see where I've landed. I can't remember what month I started this in. This was supposed to be for a readathon or reading challenge as well, but this I did get kind of bored of, and I'll be honest, like I don't really remember what was happening. I remember this main character is able to travel to like 3 different types of Londons. Like I think it's a red, a black, and a white London. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what I remember. And there's like different kings or like leaders of each. And like he's like the go-between that's like able to strike deals and all that kind of stuff. But I think this also is a trilogy. And yeah, like I might come back to it this year, probably not. Like I said, for December might be a catch-up month of like books I've started or DNF'd at the time and it will return to. That might give me, like, I love wrapping up a year nicely, and what better way to do that than finishing books I had started, or like just finishing ones that I didn't think I could or wanted to give another chance to or whatever. So that might be the case with this one. Finally is the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang. I have read the Poppy War, I can't remember if that was the beginning of this year. I think it was the beginning of this year. And I am in the middle of the Dragon Republic again, not that far into it. I started reading this when I was on vacation, I think also in Tampa, somewhere in Florida. And I think I just got distracted because I was going to the pool, I was going to the beach, and I got back on the plane and like picked up another book, or the month had already ended or something. So this was one that I did wait, even though I've read them in the same year, or at least started them in the same year. It was that long of a time between them that I forgot some of the elements that happened in the Poppy War for the Dragon Republic. And then there is a third one called The Burning God, which I'm waiting for that to come into paperback before I get it, so it's a matching set. But yes, I remember enjoying the story, but it's taken me a really long time to jump back into it and understand the nuances of like the different abilities, the different lands, the leaders. Who are we supposed to like? Who are we supposed to remember that we thought was dead, and all of that. So yeah, I really like this series because of like the Asian history that's represented here. And like I think I mentioned this when I had reviewed the Poppy War, is that I personally didn't learn a lot, or at least I don't remember a lot of Asian history when I was going through school. So this is really interesting, even though this is clearly fiction, sci-fi, whatever. It has similar tones, or it's like pulling from history to symbolize a lot of the things that are going on here. All right, so those are all the books in series I haven't finished yet, and hopefully this is my motivation to actually finish them at some point. Actually all of these that I mentioned have finished. The books are done. being written, I believe. But then there might be other ones out there like the prequels or like alternative perspectives, which I guess can or cannot count for the same series, same character, same author. Not sure. That was fun. That was good to remind myself of those stories and like why I like them, why I picked them up to begin with, and like that hope that I was going to finish them someday. Don't know what day that's going to be. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or comment down below. What am I doing the rest of today? I have some more reading for today, more Six of Crows, and then I'm gonna start Arcadia by Lauren Groff. So different books going on. They're all different genres, so I feel fine with that. And then I'm also listening to Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? And yeah, I have my Boston Marathon or virtual marathon tomorrow, so definitely gonna go to bed early. And I'll probably, at this point, this video comes out I think 2 weeks after the race, so if you wish me good luck, thank you. I appreciate that, and I'll probably recap that experience either on social media or on some future vlog. Maybe I probably will do a blog post as well. I'm trying to do more content on my blog that's not necessarily just book reviews, like that's going to be a majority of it are book reviews, but just giving some more like personal anecdotes, updates, reflections on things, because that's what I do want to do, is write more critically and write more pieces and essays. So I think that will be a good step for me, is to put out content that is like more vulnerable or just more insightful, that you all can enjoy, comment, share on, whatever it may be. But yes, if you want to support this channel, then I encourage you to hit subscribe. You can hit the notification bell to know when I post next, usually on Mondays. And yeah, I have my wish list listed down below, as well as my other social media and my blog. And looking forward to getting to the series and just reading some more books as always. But yes, thank you again so much for watching. Have a great day and happy reading.